Hello there, folks. Hey, this is Joe Wazoo here. Hey, in this video today, we're going to do something interesting. We're going to use an old legacy memory card image primitive to display pictures on a red line screen that you might have on the resident SD memory card. So let's say, for instance, you have an application and you want one company's logo to be on there, and then another one uses a different logo, and you could have pre-built pictures on the SD card, and you could direct it to show those pictures. So first off, I'm going to do this in this application. I looked up how to use the memory card image thing on the Redline website. I don't know if you can find it easily. I'll try to put a link to it, but I'm going to go through this and I'll show you what I discovered to make this happen. And we're going to use some utilities that are included with Red Lion when you do this. Now, the memory card image is a legacy primitive that you can find in the right side of Crimson. So let me go back to Crimson here. Right side, well, left side on the display page, right side, you go over here to primitives. If you're in the home directory, slide down to the category called legacy primitives. And then if you slide down a little bit, it's this guy right here, this little image primitive here that we're going to use. This is the tool we're going to use. But we have some work to do before we can make our dreams happen here. So let me go over here to what I've got. I've got a series of pictures of some logos that I grabbed. And notice that these are JPEG images. So if I double click on it, it opens up as a JPEG. I happen to use the software called EarthView. I love it for pictures. If you go to the website, earthview.com, I think is where it is. But I love this software. I've used it for many years. I use it for all my pictures, things, and so forth. So back here at the manual, oops, it says here that we're going to use this thing. Yeah, we'll get this, but the utility requires that the files be in a bitmap format, not a JPEG. Okay, so that means back here, like this image right here, I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'll go File, Save As right here. This is in the EarthView software, and I'm going to save this the same place as my little project is here. I should have had this open before I got here, but give me a second, team. And I'm going to make a directory called bitmaps, or just BMPs right here, BMP right there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this in here. This first picture is the ADC logo, so I'm going to do that. And you see down here where it says save type, I'm going to use bitmap and hit save. Bam. Okay, that should take care of that guy. Let's go ahead and do all these real quick here, team, while I'm doing that. So that this one, next one's banner. I'm going to go File, Save As, save the same place, banner, bitmap, say save. Perfect. Oops, there we go. And then I can hit the tab. Okay. And the next one is the HMS logo. We'll go ahead and file save that as well. There it is, bitmap. And let's go ahead and double click on the pulse. And we'll file save. These are some awesome logos I got. So we'll go ahead and save. All right. So looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Looks good. If I go into this folder, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you look, these are all bitmap files. See that? So if I hover over, you can see it's a BMP. This one's a BMP. Perfect. All right. Okay. So next thing we're going to do here, let's go back to our little manual. So we got in bitmaps. Looks good. Yep. Okay. We didn't resize. All right. Now the next thing is we're going to go to the DOS prompt to do this next thing because we're going to use a program that's in the utilities folder called MakePic. So for instance, on your hard drive, if you go to your C drive, can I make this bigger? Let me look here. Yeah, usually, oh, there we go. See your C drive, program files, x86, Redline controls, and Crimson 3.2, you're going to see there's a directory here called utilities or utils. If I double click into there, there's a bunch of utilities. I got some other videos that cover some of these, but the function we're going to use is this MakePic. Now, I was trying to do a bunch of work where I could just execute this in this location, and I couldn't get it to work. So I found, team, that to make this happen, especially with the Windows security, I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy this program, right click and copy it, and then I'm going to plug in a little USB stick into my laptop. Let's see if I can turn it in. Here we go. All right, I turned it on. Here's my little USB stick drive. It's the D drive. That's perfect. I'm going to right click here and go ahead and paste that program in there. Okay, I pasted that, but I also want to grab these bitmap pictures and paste them in that same directory. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight all these guys like this. Right click. I'm just going to copy them for this example. Right click, copy, and then go over to that USB drive right here and do a paste. Boom. Okay, now I got them pasted there. Let's go back to our little instruction manual. So the instruction manual says open up the DOS prompt. Okay, we'll do that. Type CMD down here. Here's our DOS prompt. Now, I want to get to the D drive. So I don't know if I can do this. Let's see. D, change directory D. Nope. Let's do this. We'll go backtrack. And then CD, D. Oh, maybe I'll just do this. Really? I did this the other day. Okay, there it is, D. All right, now, if I do a directory, you can see here, team, there's the files that are in there. That's perfect. Now, we're going to run this program, MakePic, but we got to do some functions on this. So if I pull this up a little bit, let me try this real quick here. Let me just try type MakePic, see if it comes with it. Okay, perfect. So it comes up with the little help document here. It says, all right, so you run the program, the switches, the input file, and the picture number. Okay. Yep. And now if I go back to the manual here, you can see here, there's the same thing, blah, blah, blah. But I'm using a graphite today. So I'm going to actually run the MakePic with the file name, and then I'll do this, and then you add a number at the end. So if I go back to my little DOS prompt here, whoops. Right here, we'll just do a directory again, okay? So let's go ahead and do these in alphabetical order. So I'm thinking if I do make, pick, and then I'm going to do the ADC. Oops, sorry, let me do it again. ADC.BMP, and then a space dash RGB 888, and then space 1. Let me look at this example real quick here. So RGB88 because it's graphite. Number 1's the first file. I like that. Back to here. I'm going to hit enter. Let's see what it does. Okay, so it didn't look like it did anything, but look, if I do a directory, now I have a new file, pic001. Perfect. Okay, and notice the suffix G3P. All right, so I'm going to hit the up arrow to recall that function. Let's do the next one, which is banner. Go to the end here. I want this to be pick number 2, so I got to change that last thing, number 2. Here we go. Bam. All right, that's good there. Let's go ahead and do number 3, which will be HMS here. And this will be picture number 3. Okay, and let's do one more. This is going to be picture number 4, and this will be the pulse. I'm not very good with alphabet, but this is my alphabetical order. All right, and we'll go to the end here. Bam. Okay, let's do another directory here. Perfect. Now you see these these ones here. Those are the pictures I want to use that I got to put on the SD memory card. Now, in Crimson, if you're connected, well, now that doesn't work anymore. Crimson 3.2, the SD memory card doesn't really show up as a hard drive on like it used to in Crimson 3.1. So what I do, team, in the modern day is go to device configuration over here on the left. And then if I slide this down, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to go to the services. I'm going to click FTP server. I'm going to enable it for this because I'm connected to this over Ethernet. And I'm going to do read write enable in 21. This will give me some local access to it. So that is what's currently turned on the screen. And I like to use the software called Core FTP. So I've got other FTP videos on this, but here's Core FTP. I can hit this button right here. That'll connect. I think this one here. Let me look here. So it's my local Geo9. This is the local IP address of it. I got it set up as anonymous. I'm using port 21. I'm going to connect locally here over it. Hit connect. Okay, so this here is the drive, the SD memory card, the HMI. This over is my stuff here. All right, so I want to copy. Let me go back to this manual quick here. There was a little catch here. Well, does it say it here? Let me look down here. Okay, the file's name, that's correct there. But they must be in a directory called pics on the root directory of the memory card. So using this tool here, I'm going to go ahead and right click and do a new, where's the new? Maybe I'll just do this button right here, make directory, and I'm going to call it pics. All right. Now I want to put those pictures in that directory, so I can double click here, go into there, and then over here I need to somehow get to my D drive. Can I hit the pull down here? Can I just do this? Oh, look at there. There's a D. Now I'm going to take these 4 Yahoos, and I'm just going to drag them over here like this. Bam. This should move them over to the SD memory card in the Redline HMI and put them in the directory called pics. So you can see it working here. And I think it's done. They're not very big pictures, but that should be it right there. Okay, perfect. Now back here at my little document here, I'm reading. Okay, open the primitive, and you're going to set this to be the picture number. So let's try this, team. Let's go here to Crimson. We're going to go to display pages. I drug this out. Remember, this is found in the legacy primitives. Slide down a little bit, and it's this guy right here, memory card image. So let's say this first one, I want to load picture 1. So I'm going to double click on this guy, and I think I'm just going to put number 1 right in here. Maybe I'll put 001. Let's do that. Okay, let's click OK. And let's go ahead and try this, team. I'll save it real quick. I'm going to go ahead and download to that screen. Let's see what happens here on the screen. This is it right here. Yeah, it should upload. Let's refresh. Hey, look, there's that logo. Oh, this is so cool. Well, let's go ahead and do the others then. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this guy out again. I'm going to right click and do same size as this guy. We want this one to be number 2. Maybe I'll make this a little smaller. Let me see. Can I make this a little small like that? We'll do this guy. Okay. Double click. This one I want to be number 2. So I'll put 002. Boom. And I'll just right click and smart duplicate. This one will be number 3. And I'll put 003 here. And the last one will be number 4. I didn't space him correctly, so that's all right. We'll put him right here. This will be number 4. Oops. There we go. All right, and it always bugs me, team, when I don't have stuff lined up, so I'll line these up with the top of this guy here. And then can I move them all? No, I should have did that first. They won't fit. You know what I should do? Let me make this guy a little smaller. All right, now I'm just going to resize these. Be the same size as this guy, and then let's go ahead and align them all up with the top of that guy since it's selected. All right, I'm going to save it. You ready? Let's download. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Whoops. Shoot the moon. Back to our web browser. Let's see what happens when it refreshes. So that's interesting. The images now that I've done that is too small for that JPEG. So, hey, we learned something, team. So, and I guess, let's just look here real quick. What size do I have this thing? So if you notice, when I click on this, down here, it says that's a 163 by 148. You see that there on that size? So I'm curious, if I go back to here, what is the size of this thing? If I double click on this, let's see here. Well, I guess I won't double click. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and just make this a little bigger. There we go. And we'll do same size as that guy. Let's try it again. Here we go. Save, download, and see we're going longer than I wanted to in this video. So let's see what it does here. It figures. All right, so fine. This one must be it. I probably should study the size a little more, but that's all right. All right, let's try it again. Really? Well, what? Okay, let's try it one more time here. Well, did I not take HMS? What's with the pulse and the other one here? Banner? How wide is the banner one? Well, I can't get my JPEG thing to work. Oh well, you get the image or the idea here on this function. I must have something wrong with my size here in this, but you get the idea using this. So you could call these and so forth and use them in other things. But just thought I'd do a real quick video on the MakePic primitive. The one thing I will tell you that was important for my learning is to use a USB drive. If you try to make changes and have it save at the x86 directory in your PC, even with my administrator rights, Windows would not let me save it there. So I found it easier to copy that utility to a USB stick and then use that as your hard drive to read and write back and forth. Anyway, if you want to copy these database, great, or these pictures, anything, let me know. Thanks a lot, team. See y'all.